Good morning, everyone. It's the Elderly Brothers back again. Today is June the 6th, 2025. Um, I'm Larry, I'm 82, and this is,
Ardy, and I'm 89, and this is the 80th anniversary of D-Day.
right.
Remember that?
I
I
was,
remember it. I remember that. That's just tragic that I remember
I
it.
don't.
It's
What,
80 damn years ago.
so I was two, you were older
Yeah,
than
and I
me.
was 9 and 9/10.
You
And
were,
I remember hearing it on the radio, uh, comprehending, I think, part of it at least. And I mean, there was no TV, so there was no, it wasn't a live war. I think I realized the importance of it, but I'm not quite sure. I know the importance of it now.
yeah.
But the fact that I remember it is scaring me. This scared me.
Well, so I think did you have a feeling of positive, that was a really good thing, or just knew it was important?
I just think I knew it was pretty important. I had actually been following the war. That's a strange thing. I was following it. I liked the maps that were in the paper about, the army is going this way and the army is going that way, and you know
Wow.
the arcs and the arrows and stuff like that. I liked that. But I was also thinking, if you were 20 years old, then you're 100 today.
That's true. So it's 80, exactly 80.
Yeah. So there can't be that many survivors.
No, I doubt it. So D-Day was the invasion. Yeah.
Hmm.
So
Of
the war hadn't
France.
ended then.
Huh?
The war hadn't ended. It was
Oh
just,
no, it was just really getting to its height in Europe at that point. The landing on D-Day was the first incursion against Germany in Europe, and it was very consequential. I mean, if that had gone badly and hadn't worked, this would be Germany,
yeah,
or at least Europe would be Germany.
yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's a scary thing that it could have been lost on that day, on that very day, just one day, it could have been lost.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's history, and you had something you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, this is a lot more important. Uh, I shaved this morning for which I do about once a week or so, and I love the way it feels and the way it looks. I look good?
Yeah, you're fabulous.
I thought I did,
Yeah.
but I really don't like to shave because it's just not fun for me.
Well, but it's such a short. I mean, what else do you have to do? It takes you what, 2 minutes, 3 minutes at maximum?
Well, a little more because you gotta wet your face and then you gotta fill the sink with water. That's what I mean. You may have a different technique.
I do. I do have a different technique.
I just fill my sink with water and then I squirt out my shaving cream and I put it on this side and then I have to put it on this hand so I can put it on this side. And then I have to wash my hands so I can pick up my razor. And then, it's just effort.
Well, here's the secret. You put the shaving cream in one hand,
Yeah.
squirt it in one hand, and
Yeah.
then put your hands together like that, and then you can do both sides at the same time.
Oh, I never thought of that. I'll try that next week when I shave
Try it.
again.
Try it. You'll love it. But here's another thing. I don't fill the sink with water. I just wash the razor off once, use it all over my face, and then rinse it off. That's all.
So you bet. So I do a double. I do it, down,
Yeah.
and then I wash off, and then I put more shaving cream, and then I do up.
Oh, well, you're doubling your time. Yeah.
I know, but it doesn't seem to. I guess if I change blades more often, I wouldn't have to go
But
back.
you do it once a week. You don't need to change blades for 6 months.
No,
If you
it's true.
if you use Harry's blades,
And I do, as we know.
you got to
We're
use Harry's blades.
Harry's devotees.
Yeah. Uh, well, there's different techniques, but I think the double two-hand approach is going to save you precious minutes.
I'm gonna try that next time, just to be sure.
It's very easy to do.
Because
Very.
it's inefficient. If you get it all on this hand and you can do this side,
That's what I'm
then
saying. It's inefficient.
you gotta scrape it all and get it in order and then do the other side.
Oh man,
So let me
you're making
try.
it so much complicated than it is.
There's got to be some YouTubes on this.
Oh, there's probably 200 YouTubes on it. Well, let's talk about glasses. Uh,
Okay.
uh, my son Eric got new glasses, and because he'd broken his old ones, and they were like $525. The lenses were $130, and the rest of it was the frame.
Right.
And the frame probably costs $5 to make,
Yeah.
maybe less, and it sells for $400.
Yeah.
So, so I went on Warby Parker, and you told me about another one. What's the name of it?
I buy direct.
I Buy Direct, and there's another one called Zinni. And I can get a pair of glasses with prescriptions for $70, and they look fine.
And they work. I've bought them that way.
So, I mean, what the hell? This was an optometrist's office. I mean, I don't know how much they get off of that price, but I mean, it's just outrageous. And
Oh,
you can spend you $1,000 on frames if you want.
oh yeah, easily. I don't, but you could. I'm sure. Well, it's like the manufacturer makes it, they sell it for a price to a distributor who then sells it to the optometrist. So you get three markups.
That's true. And with these other places, there's no intermediate, no middleman.
Right. So it's like the alcohol situation where they have three level distribution. So you pay three times, pay somebody three markups.
When you finally buy it, yeah. Well, wine is the same way. I mean, wine is so outrageous, and that's one of the reasons. But you can, yeah, I can buy a decent bottle of wine for $7, which I mean, decent to me because my palate is not that of a sommelier, uh, but I enjoy it just as much as I would a $20 bottle.
Yeah, and that's the other mystery is how they can sell a bottle of Australian wine for $7
Yeah,
when you
comes
bought
10,000 miles.
10,000 miles. You have to buy a bottle. You have to have a label. You have to have a cork. You have to ship it, and then everybody else marks it up. And somehow they must, they must pay 20 cents for the bottle or something. I don't know.
Well, the winery, or the people making the wine must make $2 a bottle, maybe less.
Yeah, I mean, they don't make much, that's for sure.
But if you sell 1 million bottles, that's pretty good.
It adds up.
Yeah.
You can do okay.
Uh, but tell me the cost of a bottle and a cork and all that.
Well, when we were in the vodka business, so the cork you can spend as much as um, 12 to 15 cents for you get a nice cork. We had to get corks for our high-end product that have a wood cap.
Yeah.
So those are, whatever. Then you have to do what they call a tamper strip, which is that little piece of
Yeah.
tape that goes over to seal it.
Yeah.
Then you do a shrink sleeve on that. You buy your bottle, you get it. We bought, blank bottles, then you have to get label on it. So the bottles come, we were buying them in America, and then the company that we bought them from um, sold out to India. So then you got to ship it from India, to the to the labeler, who then ships it to you. So you got double shipping. It's just
So how much does a bottle cost you now, or did it cost you in
we
the end?
were well because we had nice glass, and we had what do they call it? Screen printing on it, which is more expensive than a paper label. So our bottle with the label and the cork and the tamper strip and the seal was a couple of bucks, probably $2.30.
Well, that's not bad.
Well, it is bad.
It is. Oh, okay.
Depends on what you're doing.
Well, say let's say that my $7 bottle of wine has a $2 bottle, maybe less, maybe let's say it's $1.50.
Yeah, they're probably paying 40 cents.
You think?
Yeah.
My goodness, how do they make a bottle for that price?
Well, if you buy um, a what do you call it, container full, there's like, I don't know, I forget, 23,000 bottles in there, and you get a really good price.
But I'm talking about how do you make a bottle? How are they made?
They're made in bottle factories. They're made out of,
Really? No, I mean it's got to be machine made. It's made out of glass. You got to have glass. You got to have the machines.
yeah,
How can you sell a bottle? How you gonna make it sell a bottle for that?
because the big companies can make 5 million bottles a year, more probably.
But okay, so let's go to plastic bottles. They must cost a penny.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, and the bottle sells. The cheapest plastic water bottle is $1.
Right.
Although it's cheaper at Walmart, I think it's 25 cents. But still, it's a pretty big markup from 1 cent to $1, right? And
So
the
yeah,
water,
but you
most of
gotta,
the water costs you nothing.
well, maybe, maybe not, but
I think that's all a fake.
you
Those
gotta
fancy
fill it.
water.
You have to fill it. You have to put the cork on it or the top on it.
Yeah, okay. So it costs 15 cents.
Okay.
All right, so that's a good markup. And some of those things, I mean, you get a bottle of Pellegrino at a restaurant. What is it? $20, right?
Well, I don't know. I don't know because I don't usually get it.
Well, but still, it costs a lot of money.
But
But
our friend Clay, who lives in Maine, lives. I don't know if he lives near. What's that? The huge water.
well, it's Spring Valley or something like that.
Uh, no, from Maine. It's I don't know, whatever.
Yeah,
But so that's spring water,
Maine water. Oh,
Maine water. You can call it Maine water. It's spring water, and all the locals are not happy with that company because they're sucking all the water out of the spring and selling it.
and it's free.
Well, I expect they're paying somebody for that water.
I doubt it. It's public water.
Well, I don't know. I mean, the spring
And you
is,
can go to that spring and drink the water.
I don't know.
That's public water. It belongs to all of us.
Water, well, it's like, the the indigenous Americans didn't believe that you could own land either.
Yeah, well, that's true. Anyway, I'm saying the water should be free. It is free. It's free to me. I'm going to Maine and I'm going to drink that water right out of that spring. That's all I'm going to do.
Yeah, well, they probably got armed guards there.
Probably so. But I'll tell them I'm a journalist.
That'll do it.
Yeah. And then that's when they unsling their guns.
So then the other thing that happened this week, we went to New York City um, to do some things, and we went experienced congestion pricing.
Yeah,
You know that big deal with.
yeah.
Um, it seems like there was the same amount of congestion, but
How do you pay for it?
if you got your Easy Pass,
Oh, it just records it.
it's
Yeah.
automatic, so it's like
You
nine.
don't have a pass. How do you pay for it? They
I
bill you by your license plate,
Yeah, they
probably.
probably take a picture of the license plate,
Yeah.
but it's like $9.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you're going once a month or 2 months, that's no big deal.
No, but if you're going every day, it's a real big deal.
Yeah, that's true.
George
Well,
Washington Bridge I think, is like $17
wow. One way?
one way. You only have to pay one way,
Oh, okay.
but
So add that to $9, so you got what, $26,
just to get into town,
and then parking is probably $25.
depending on where you go, yeah,
Yeah. So you got a $50 trip
just
before you've done anything.
but before you do anything.
Yeah. Well, that's New York, but it's New York, and that's why it's there. That's why those things happen.
It is because all those people want to be on that little tiny piece of land
Yeah, yeah, it's a crowded place.
for some unknown reason.
Well, there's high-rise buildings. They like that.
They like that. They like noise. They like
Food. They like food. They like the
food. Food is
restaurants.
good.
They like the entertainment world. They like the sports world. There's lots of stuff there.
They like walking across the street against a red light, not looking just because they know you're not going to run over them
Yeah, unless they get run over. That
unless
happens.
you can't help it.
Yeah. Unless you're looking at your iPhone, right?
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Yeah. No, there you could be too, though, as a driver.
Yes, in fact, a lot are.
This
They
was an
uh,
iPhone crash.
so now I think I just thought of a wonderful idea for iPhones is they have like warnings like your car when there's somebody coming up in your blind spot.
Could be. That'd be a good idea.
I think
Because
I'll
uh,
call up what's his name? Tim iPhone.
Cook. Yeah, you remember when we were on our road trip and we were talking about what was it? I'm thinking, I've forgotten what it was we were talking about. Oh yeah, yeah, about the warning on the speedometer about you need
Oh,
to change
coffee.
drivers. You need to change drivers, and it shows a little cup of coffee,
Right.
and and then it goes on again and gets mad at you and says now is the time or something like that,
Yeah,
and it shows a cup of coffee, and we decided that Starbucks should sponsor the speedometer. They should have
and
their ad come up. Time for Starbucks.
then tell
And
you
then tell you the closest one. Yeah.
yeah, tell you where the next one is.
Yeah. I
And maybe
remember.
even order before you get there, so you wouldn't have to spend a lot of time.
Yeah, it's true. That'd be great. What an idea.
I think
I
we
think an easy one. An easy one. AI can do that in an hour. No, in a minute.
yeah. So
Uh,
now we've already given it away, and we could have really become wealthy.
yeah. Yeah, true. But they're not going to hear this, so it's okay.
Yeah, it's true.
Remember, at one point we decided we'd find out how far the closest Starbucks was,
Yeah.
and it was 39 miles away. And I think that's probably the only place on Earth where there's a Starbucks that's not closer than 39 miles.
If you look at the network,
Yeah,
I'm
really.
sure there was a lack of coverage there.
There's three Starbucks in every block. All right, well, let's do it. This has been very informative for people, I think.
Yeah, they're definitely going to get a lot of good information out of this, and it's all free, you
I
know.
mean, we talked razors, we talked liquor and wine bottles, we talked glasses, uh, and we talked coffee, and I think we've covered covered the world
A lot, many things today that are very important, I think.
and useful. Okay, I'm going to say goodbye, my brother. Love you.
I love you too for in perpetuity.
Yes, and let's get everybody to check us out on YouTube. And it's YouTube. It's Elderly Brothers at Elderly Brothers US. And all you got to do is get on there and check us out and say you love us and why not. And we'll see you next time.
Okay, that sounds good to me.
Okay. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.